let's talk a little bit about some of the tactical ways that you guys have been able to travel on the cheap. This is a topic that we really haven't covered much on my podcast, but it's something that everybody's really interested in, and it's something that I engage in myself. And I know that you guys have a lot of experience with this, and that is credit card points and travel hacking.
Free money.
Um, yes, free money. And I'm not an expert in this, but I think I've done a pretty good job. I typically save around, I would estimate around ten or $15,000 a year in
Yeah.
value that I would get for free
Yeah.
from using points. And just last weekend, I had pretty much a free flight to Chicago round trip and 2 free nights in a hotel at the
Mhm.
W in City
Love
Center.
it.
I basically spent $100 the whole
Yeah.
weekend
Yeah.
and had like this really nice experience. So, how long have you guys been leveraging credit card points? And what are some of the kind of starter tips that you would recommend for people who are new to this? And what are the value and the benefits that they can get from it?
I have two cards that I primarily love. So my American Express Platinum card and my Marriott credit cards. I have two actually, but I use my Chase Marriott like every day because we love Marriott. So the W Chicago, great. Like love that. We're
Mm-hmm.
huge W fans, huge Marriott fans. We just had 2 free nights in a Renaissance hotel. But we've done some really cool things. Last year, for example, we did a road trip to California and we flew into San Diego. We used Delta. We have Delta credit cards. So I think it's like $100 a year. It's probably more. I think it's 125 now,
Mm-hmm.
but you get a companion ticket every year. So we use the companion tickets to get a 2-for-1 flight basically to San Diego. We used American Express points to get the rental car. We had 12 nights in California. Of those 12, 9 were free with 8 of those were Marriott hotels. So that was 8 nights free, including one night at the Ritz-Carlton in Santa Barbara, which was like 2000 a night. And we like used like 70,000 points. So it was like a great
Wow.
redemption.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance to go to that hotel, it's like
It was very,
use your
yeah.
points and spend it on that. It's totally worth it.
It was a great redemption. By the way, though, Marriott is changing the redemption structure. So it's you might not find that deal anymore. And we used some Hilton points to stay at the hotel in Monterey. And essentially we saved in the total of this trip, we paid for our hotel in Napa because the Westin there, which is a Marriott, was booked. So we actually paid to stay at the Archer downtown Napa. And we ended up saving, when I sat down and did the math on how much everything would have cost, with points, we saved $7,000 on that trip, over $7,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one trip. That's 2 weeks. And the beautiful thing about that, to your point, you spend what, $100 on your trip to Chicago. When you save money on your flights and your hotels and things like that, you feel a little bit more free to like enjoy your dinner, or like
Yeah.
go take a tour, like splurge a little bit more on those things because everything else was free.
Yeah. Like I treated my friend to brunch. I'm like, it's on me.
Yeah. You just become like a big spender when it comes to the day in and day out stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Cause then all the other stuff adds up too, like the tours and things. So you have the Marriott, do you have is it the Bonvoy card? Give us a
Yeah.
list of like the cards that you currently have. Cause I have the Delta Reserve card, but
Okay.
I find it
Mhm.
interesting that you guys go for the Delta Platinum card
Yeah.
and a different Delta or the American Express Platinum and a different Delta card that's maybe a different level.
I love the American Express Platinum card because it's like $600 a year, but you get a $200 airline credit, $200 hotel credit, $200 Uber credit. So you make that up right
Oh
there.
yeah.
It pays
Plus
for
you get
itself.
like, they have random awards throughout the year. So like right now I have $15 in like digital subscription services. So for like, I think I forget one of the TV services is included. So like it pays for that. One of the reasons I like that card too is because it has great insurance for rental cars, for travel insurance and things like that.
So when you go to the rental car place and they're like, do you want insurance? You're like, nope, I already have it. So that's cutting costs right there every time you get a rental car.
yeah, exactly. And honestly, insurance is important. I like it.
Yeah.
And the insurance is more expensive than the rental car usually.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, just having that alone, like we just rented a car when we were in Puglia. We just did a trip to Puglia, Italy, and we rented nice Alfa Romeo.
Mhm.
And he says, do you want insurance? I'm like, no, I'm good. I got it. So, just like to her point, another example, I have both Marriott credit cards. They have a Chase, Bonvoy, Boundless, and then they also have an American Express, like Bonvoy Brilliant, I think it's called. The reason I have both of those is because I think they're like $100 a year, but with each card you get a free night. So, at that point you're getting that right back. And when you spend with those cards, I think I get like 3 points for dining, and a lot. So I use my Chase Marriott Bonvoy Boundless card for just about everything that, like, everyday purchases, gas, dining, everything.
Mhm.
And that's really nice because I'm racking up Marriott points like crazy, especially when you stay at a property. You can get sometimes you get up to 17 points for every dollar you spend at a Marriott property with that card. So, we'll book a free night at the Marriott. We were in Venice and we stayed at the St. Regis, was a free night. We got upgraded because I'm platinum. So we got a nice suite at the St. Regis. It's like a $1,500 suite we got for free for the night. All of our dinner and things that we spent at the hotel, we put on the card. So you get a ton of points back. So it's kind of like a win-win.
Mhm.
We do have our Delta cards. Again, we mentioned we have the Delta Platinum. The reason we don't have the Delta Reserve is because we don't fly domestic a lot. We're often, flying internationally. So like Turkish Airlines, Air France, whatever the case might be. So we wouldn't use all the benefits of the Delta Reserve card, like
the
somebody
Sky
that
Clubs and the upgrades you wouldn't get because it's international.
Exactly. So we go for the Platinum just to kind of get that. We get the free check bag, most importantly, but also those companion tickets every year.
And lounge access.
And that lounge access comes with the American Express
card.
Platinum. Yeah. So that's the other thing with the American Express Platinum. If you're flying Delta, you get access to that Delta Sky Lounge for that day too.
Right. And then do you get the priority check-in and boarding with that Delta Platinum card?
We don't.
Okay.
That's the one thing you don't. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's
but
still
she's
pretty
silver.
good,
She's silver, so she gets it all the time.
silver medallion.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you guys also sign up for the loyalty programs, like with all the airlines you fly on and with the rental car companies and stuff?
All the time. So every time, like I think I have an account for everything. I have a whole note with all my numbers. So because otherwise you're just leaving it out there, right? You're leaving points and stuff out there.
Yeah, like it drives me crazy when I see like my mom buying anything with her debit card. I'm like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, I've never used mine. I have it in case of an emergency if I need to like take out cash for some reason. But
we have a great debit card too. We use Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab's investor checking account. So you have to open a brokerage account to get the checking account, but with that debit card, it's free ATMs anywhere in the world. So even if the ATM charges you a fee, they refund you that fee. So that's been great for us. Obviously, for travelers, that's another great, and it's not a credit card, but a checking account to look into because that's free ATMs anywhere in the world. They even refund the fees if they charge you.
Yeah, that's the only bank I know that does that. And I should really get that one because I just use my TransferWise card, but it still has a fee at the ATM. And it's like, might as well get zero fees. I stopped using Bank of America cards because they're so expensive. But that's a really good one.
It's nice to have that too, because you get we'll go get cash anywhere and we don't have to think about it. You don't have to find a specific ATM. It's literally any ATM in the world and it's free.
Yeah, we'll link to that in the show notes. I just wrote about that in my book because I had a whole chapter on finances and banking. And so do you do any spending on the American Express Platinum card, or do you just use it for the points and then you do all the spending on Marriott?
We do some spending. The best way to spend with that card is if we need to pay for travel. So if you book travel through the American Express portal, so we'll book a flight, for example. Sometimes you can book hotels and even rental cars. If you pay for those and book them through American Express platform, you get 5 points per dollar. So spending on that card is primarily any specific promotions that they have. Anytime we're booking travel that we're paying for, like flights and things, we'll pay for it on that card. Or the things that you want, like insurance for, so travel or purchase protection. They also have they have enhanced protection for electronics and things like that. So you can put some of those things on there and get those covered as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just published a podcast today about insurance and travel insurance, health insurance, and electronics insurance.
Yeah.
And that was one of the tips is to, do your certain travel spending on the credit cards that have good travel insurance. And then
Yeah.
you get extra protection through that. And also with purchasing those electronics and
Yeah.
things. That's something that they don't really publicize that much. And people don't really talk about it a lot or even use
No.
it, but it's a really good bonus.
Yeah, I think one thing we do too before we spend or like before we make any like important purchases is like we'll sit down and look through all of our cards and the benefits of all the cards to like really decide, what's the best card to put this on. It takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you apply for new cards every year or do you just like focus on those cards?
Primarily, we focus on those cards. If we see a really good like sign up bonus or something, we might jump on it. But we've kind of, for the last few years, I think we've been pretty.
Well, last year you
certain.
got your platinum.
Yeah.
And that was a great, when they had a great sign up bonus. So to her point, that's the time to get new cards is when there's a bit, like a historically big sign up bonus. So sometimes it'll be like American Express Platinum, it's 100,000 points. Like this is the highest it ever is. And though that's always a good time because we've also went to apply for cards and the bonus ends and you never know when they're going to bring it back. So one thing that's for sure about getting new cards is like one of the best things you get from it is that sign up bonus because it's so valuable. Sometimes, that 100,000 points from American Express is worth like $2,000, something like that.
Yeah, we've also had times where we just missed it, and it's like, well, I really need a card, so then I settle for maybe 50,000, and you miss out. So time is of the essence when it comes to that.
Yeah. I'm gonna set up a Google alert for that one because I've been waiting to get the American Express Platinum because I just had so many travel credit cards, but I think it's time. I've been holding off for a long time, and especially going back to Europe and leaving the US and leaving the Delta economy, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's the other thing about the American Express that I will say too is another reason I have that Chase Marriott that I use it so much is because when you're abroad, American Express can be hard to use. So I almost can't use it a lot of times when I am abroad. So it is good to have at least like a Visa or MasterCard credit card in your wallet because those are the most widely accepted cards for sure overseas.
Yeah, I have all of them. So I have like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, but you'll definitely see in Europe and places that retailers don't want to pay those American Express processing fees. So it's good to have a backup. And then how do you find those deals? Like when you get those hotel rooms for 70,000 points, for example, because I was looking around in Miami, I was thinking maybe I'll take a staycation, but it's just the economy here is crazy right now as everyone's moving to Miami. So all the hotel prices were like 130,000 points and things. So do you have any hacks for how you find those good nights? Is it like on a Tuesday or something?
I think it's mostly emails. We pay attention to our emails and we sign up for email notifications about any deals. Like if Mariott has one, I'll send it to Jordan like, hey, we need to jump on this or do a little trip. And then
I like to compare. I think I don't have a specific day, but I do like to compare the redemption versus the cost to stay. And so, an easy way to think about it is like if it's $500 a night, that I like, it might not be exactly, but I'm thinking like 50,000 points, right? So you take off like those 2 zeros to 500. That's kind of like if it's the redemption costs more or about the same as to pay, I might actually pay for it.
Yeah.
So when I was looking at that Ritz-Carlton, for example, it was 70,000 points, which is about $700, but the actual price to pay was like $2,000. So like that was a really great redemption. And I just happened to stumble across it because it was one of the only properties in Santa Barbara.
And he's always checking his Marriott app. Always.
Yeah.
He's just browsing.
Okay.
Seeing what the point count is and just, seeing if there's any opportunity there, I guess.
I think I found, so one resource that I use and I'll share it with you. I found a map. Somebody made this map of all the Marriott properties by category. And
Oh,
so that's helpful for me, because what I'll do is I'll look for a specific level of category, because they had a redemption point like rate for every category. Now they're changing that, but it allows you to kind of see what's where. So I might say category 6 hotels, and I'll just look at the map and see like where we want to go. And so like I'll just take a look from there. That's been helpful for me.
okay. I'm gonna do that too and sign up for those emails. And just, as a caveat for people to use your credit card like a debit card, like don't pay interest on the cards, but do your
Right.
normal spending that you would do with cash or on a debit card. Do it on your credit card, but just pretend it's a debit card. And
That do not carry that balance. That's the worst advice. And the thing about American Express Platinum is you can't carry a balance. They make you pay it in full every month. So that's one thing to
oh,
know.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you don't want to pay that interest. And then do none of those have overseas transaction fees?
None of the ones that we use now. No,
Okay.
not the Marriott cards, not the American Express. No, they're all good to go overseas.
That's good. Yeah, I think the Marriott actually has really nice properties because I'm also IHG Platinum,
Mhm.
Okay.
and I should probably look into their credit card too. So that's like the Intercontinental,
Yeah.
Holiday Inn and stuff, and also
Yeah.
Kimpton,
Yeah.
but their redemption's not as good. I mean, once in a while, I will find like really good deals. I actually just found one in Montreal. So I went to this
Nice.
conference this remote work conference in Montreal, and I stayed for free using my points at like a really nice Holiday Inn in the center.
How was
But
Montreal? Because we're thinking about going there.
it was an interesting time because it was spring, so the weather was the weather is crazy there in the springtime because it's so
Yeah.
cold, of course, in the winter, and then in the spring, like one day it was sunny and hot, like 80 degrees, and then the next day it was like freezing rain going sideways.
Oh my gosh.
So it was definitely weird. Like I brought summer and winter clothes for 4 days.
Yeah.
But it's nice. And if you're a foodie, you guys are foodies. So there's definitely a lot of places to eat there. And I don't know why they're so good at making bagels and donuts, but the bagels are amazing and the donuts
Wow.
too. And I saw that you were eating donuts on your Instagram. So you guys look like
We're
you're in
always
perfect
eating.
shape, but you're eating like pasta carbonara and cacio e pepe. How do you find your restaurants? Like, how do you uncover these amazing places to eat while you're traveling?